Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special broadcast of the NJ Courts TV channel. Well, you may be asking, what's so special about tonight? Well, it is a court case update, one, but two, this is being brought to you as a live premiere, which means you, the audience, have the ability to have a live chat, but technically this is a pre-recorded video. So, I will be joining you live in chat, but technically, while you're listening to me, I already did this, maybe an hour ago? But I want to say a huge shout out to my replay crew that might be watching this later. And I want to say a big thank you to all the members of the jury that might be joining us right now as we speak. So let's get this live court case update going. Well, it's kind of like a hybrid, kind of not live, but kind of live, if you get what I'm saying. But anyways, let's get started. Now, tonight's live update is going to consist of a pretty much brief kind of statement by me of explaining the context behind yesterday's hearing, followed up by an actual video clip, followed up by an audio clip from yesterday's hearing, which is going to be an audio clip from the sentencing part, which was the most important part of yesterday's hearing, that you guys will get to listen to, technically not live because it's not yesterday, but you will get to actually hear it as if you were sitting there in the courtroom, okay? One other thing just to keep in mind is this was an in-person hearing, which meant that Miss Navina Rankovic, also known as KK, her public defender, and the state prosecutor were all present in front of the judge. Now, there was a victim from one of the cases that was able to make a victim statement. That was done through the Zoom application. So that was why we were able to bring you this audio clip, was because this hearing was also brought to you all through the Zoom application. Now, yesterday's hearing went down as follows. It started off pretty much with a brief meeting, otherwise between the two attorneys and the judge, otherwise known as a sidebar. And in this meeting, the public defender advised the judge that KK or his defendant would like to plead open to court in order to resolve both cases. Now, what does that mean? Let me explain that to you. When somebody pleads open to the court, it means that the defendant does not contest the state's allegations against them and understands that an agreement has also not been made and reached by both parties. So basically, KK is not arguing against the charges that were brought against her, okay? But a plea agreement still has not been agreed to, okay? So basically, she is at the mercy of the judge's decision when it comes to the sentencing part. Now, before the judge does make his final sentence, the judge does allow both the state and public defender to give their sentencing recommendations. And in this matter, the judge also allowed a victim to make a victim statement to also help maybe in the recommendation with the judge's final say when it has to do with the sentencing part. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with the state and public defenders pretty much statements. And then I'm going to follow that by the victim's statement. Now, I'm not going to read you the whole statement. I'm just going to quote a pretty much line from the probably 5 to 6 minutes that the victim did testify. And then we're going to follow that by the actual audio clip of the judge himself sentencing KK, which is, in my opinion, the most important part and probably why most of you are here. So again, you'll get to actually listen to that through an audio clip from yesterday's hearing. So let's go ahead and start with the state. So the state is seeking adjudication in both cases, brought by 180 days in jail, followed by 7 years probation, and restitution payment of $23,442.07. The public defender is seeking withholding of adjudication on both cases and a probationary period of 4 to 5 years so that the defendant can focus on the payment of said restitution. Now, for some of you that are wondering what withholding of an adjudication means, it basically means she receives a probationary period, and upon successful completion of said probationary period, she pretty much doesn't have any felony convictions on her record, if that makes sense, okay? Now, the judge did allow also the victim, after he listened to both the public defender and the state make their recommendations, the judge did allow the victim in the case to testify and make their not make their recommendation, but pretty much testify or give a statement, from their side of the story. And like I said, I'm not going to play the whole audio clip, but I will quote the victim. And this victim's name was Mr. Johansson, who was the former employer of KK. This is the employer that she was, accused of stealing money from. And he is quoted as, "She is a parasite, and I believe she will continue to steal and hurt our county and cost millions of man hours and flat out steal money." End quote. Again, that was from Mr. Johansson, the victim, from one of the cases that she was being charged with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to say a big thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and end tonight with the audio clip from yesterday's sentencing hearing. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me in chat, or you can reach me through Instagram or the channel's email. I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and we'll see you here pretty soon on the road. Take care, y'all. NJ Courts is officially out.
All right, it's a sentence of the court, adjudication.
Your Honor, may the defense be heard? Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rankovich, she just wants the court to know that she is a mother of two. She is, they are present in court today. Their age is 11 and 3. Also present with us today is Ms. Becky Swank, the mother-in-law, who has known Ms. Rankovich for 20 years. And I asked if she wanted to speak to the court. Does Ms. Swank, would you like to talk to the court? Your Honor, may I?
Of course. No. She's free to speak.
Thank you.
Come on up, ma'am.
Now, while she's making her way up here, I just wanted to be known that Ms. Rankovich has been in Florida for the past 33 years. She has these family ties. She's trying to get back into work, especially with her ankle monitor. And that's hopefully going to be removed so that she can find better employment to pay back the restitution in this case. But I do want to discuss with Ms.
Okay.
Swank.
Ms. Swank, can I get you to raise your right hand for me? Do you promise you're going to tell me the truth?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. What is your name and spell your last name?
Vicky Swing, SWINK.
Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead, Mr. Hood.
Yes, so Ms. Swank, how do you know Ms. Rankovich?
She's my daughter-in-law.
Okay, and how long have you known her for?
Over 20 years.
And through your 20 years of getting a familial relationship with her, can you just tell the court a little bit about who she is as a person?
Good mom. She works hard when she works. The reason this had happened is 4 years ago today, her other half, my son, almost lost his life in a horrible accident. He couldn't work for 18 months. That's why she did what she did, to support two girls, her and him, keep a roof over their head and food on the table. Other than that, she would have done this. For that, I do know. She works hard when she does work. They both do, her and my son, now that he's back to work.
And Ms. Rankovich, even though you're explaining, why you think she may have done this,
Oh, I know, that's the only reason why.
but you also, it's your understanding with talking to Ms. Rankovich that she understands what she did was
Yes,
wrong, right?
oh, yeah, she's taken full responsibility, yes, we've had serious talks about it, yes.
Okay, and you have, if Ms. Rankovich is to be taken into custody, you would be the only person able to watch the kids?
No, this lady's getting too old for that.
So no one in this scenario would be able to watch for the kids?
I mean, we'd have to figure it out, because it's a big family, but, they all have their own life and kids.
All right, and has she been living with you since?
No,
Okay.
She does not live with me.
Okay, understood. And as far as you're aware, Miss, actually, we'll scratch that. Is there anything else you'd like the court to know?
No, that's it. She's really the first week. This is just something that happened with my son, and he was the breadwinner. And when you can't work and you got a brand new baby, you just gotta do it. I guess. I mean, it's been hard times for the last 4 years.
Mr. DeFreitas, any questions of Mrs. Swank?
Yes, sir, just one. Were you aware that your daughter-in-law
had a petty theft for 2022. Are you aware of that?
No.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks.
Now, Your Honor, I do want to talk a little bit about the cases. Obviously, the state brought up a 2022 petty theft. That's a misdemeanor. She's never been charged with any felonies prior to this. It's her only case. It's my understanding that she received it was a very early plea and she received court costs. The state didn't impose any, they didn't think that the case required any sort of punishment in that matter. The two cases in front of you, I just want this court to be aware, the 22-2777, that is a third degree in front, and the alleged victim in that matter is a Walmart. It should be noted that even though the price comes out to a felony petty theft, Your Honor, if you look at the PC as well as the evidence in the case, what was taken from that Walmart, and technically she never even left, the loss prevention officers stopped her, so there's no restitution order, but what was almost taken was infant clothing, vitamins, toys, things for the children, Your Honor, diapers. She wasn't walking out with a flat screen TV. Now, as for the 229416, really the matter that is the most important and the heaviest to deal with Mr. Johansson, I would like Ms. Rankovich, if I can get Ms. Rankovich under the oath, Your Honor, she does want to express some her feelings.
Okay, you're still under oath, ma'am.
I just wanted to apologize to Mr. Johansson.
And you're trying to well, get that ankle monitor off and start
Yes.
probation so that you can start working full
Absolutely.
time.
Yes,
And you want to, while you've had this ankle monitor on, you've only been able to make about $30,000, right? A year.
right.
And you know you can make more than that, and you can, and that's going to be going hopefully to Mr. Johansson, correct?
Absolutely.
And even though that, you know, when Ms. Swank explained to the judge, the context surrounding, you know, maybe the motivations behind what you did, you understand that that's not an excuse, and you're not using that. You want.
Absolutely, there is no excuse.
And you, is there anything else you would like to say?
No, I just want the opportunity to bring my wrong.
No, I have no questions.
Mr. DeFreitas, any questions of Ms. Rankovich?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, anything further, Mr. Hill?
Nothing further from the defense.
Okay. It's a sentence of the court that adjudication be withheld on both cases. I'm gonna sentence Ms. Rankovich to 7 years probation on the 229416 case. Order restitution of $23,44207. I'm gonna sentence Ms. Rankovich to 5 years probation on the 22002777. There's no restitution on that case. That 5 years runs concurrent with the 7 years I'm giving her on the other case. Ms. Rankovich, you have the right to appeal. You must appeal within the next 30 days. If you do not appeal within the next 30 days, you waive your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you'd like to ask me? Anything you're not clear on?
I just regarding the amount, if we can have.
So Your Honor, well, first, can we, so that we can focus on paying the restitution of the victims, can we get a waiver of cost supervision for the first month, or first year, Your Honor?
That request is granted. So there's no cost of supervision for the first year. I'm not denying it for the remaining the time of probation, but you would have to come back in and ask for it again, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't want to disincentivize you to work. I want you to work. I want you to make money. You need to pay Mr. Johansson. You need to pay the cost of supervision. And you have 2 little angels back there that need
Yes.
support, okay?
Absolutely.
Anything else? Okay, we're gonna need to get your prints, Ms. Rankovich, okay? You'll have a seat. $23,44207. $23,44207.